Jim Rohn once said, transform your emotions and your ideas into equity by acting upon them right away. That has been a statement that has stuck in my heart, in my mind, in the fiber of my being for a very long time. And it directly correlates to today's video because in today's video, we're going to be talking about taking action and why it is important for you and for me to take action to get to where we want. You know, there's a good old adage that goes around that if X, Y, and Z was so easy, everybody would be doing it. Sometimes, and just sometimes, I sit on that statement and actually ask myself, really? Really? Is that so true? Because taking action is something that is easy to do. But how many of us sit down and work on our emotion or that particular idea that has come into our very being right away? How many of us actually just sit down on an idea for the very longest time and we don't even do research on there? So, this is why sometimes I'm not too sure whether I could believe if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Because when did research become that difficult? When did just acting on the idea become that difficult? Because I truly believe if you are looking for something, as you are looking for it, it will find you. Welcome to my channel. My name is Genevieve Stafford Jack. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, I would love to welcome you back because you're in for another awesome video. So today we're talking about the importance of taking action. And I want to start off with this little story. I remember some time back I was frustrated. I was getting income in, but it just was not enough because I had an idea to do a certain coaching program so that I could open my mind even further, being a coach, being a life coach and a property coach. And I wanted to just take it to the next level of, hey, you know what? Coaching doesn't just start and stop where I am. And I remember saying to myself, oh, if I just had this little extra. And so while I was thinking about that, I was like, so if you really wish you had that little extra, what are you going to do about it? And so I'd gone onto YouTube, started typing all sorts of stuff, and I eventually found testing jobs online. That was one of the reasons why I'd gone and I'd found this testing job. And so I decided, well, I'm going to do my due diligence around it and I'm going to see like what does it translate into, because this is a skill that I have. So I wanted to already leverage a skill that I had and not just get into some get rich quick scheme, because there's plenty of those to run around the block 12 ways to Sunday. So nonetheless, I'd gone on to YouTube, I'd done my research, I'd gone into the different websites and I'd done what I needed to do. I literally took the research and due diligence I scream about when I'm in property investing, and I've done that within these testing jobs. Fast forward, my experiment on double checking how true it is or not earned me $78. And I was like, well, if I'm going to have $78 doing that simple task, it took time. So I now needed to sit down and say, how much more time do I need? What do I need to leverage? What do I need to do different in my schedule to be available when these tests come through? And so what did I do? I took action. I acted straight away and I said to myself, Jen, if you really need to get this coaching program, get into the right space with people that you have been following for a very long time, you need to align yourself. So I aligned myself, and I promise you, it felt like the stars and everything aligned for me. Because the more I got involved in those tests, the more money beeped for me. I mean, PayPal is a new money beep for me altogether. Well, not so new now, but it was new back then. And the beautiful thing is, it blended into my space because I took action and I said to myself, what is it that you want? And I started going after it. But it did not happen overnight. It was not the easy task that we need to get somewhere. It needed me to sit down, be sober-minded about what I wanted. And that's why I believe that taking action is so important, because if we're sober-minded about what we want, and I wanted extra money, I did not want to touch in any of the current pots that I had at that time. I didn't want to mess up the equilibrium that I had created. But what I instead did was I leveraged my time, because I said, you know what? I want that, and I'm going to go out there and get it. And so it took me some time to accumulate those hundreds of dollars that I needed. And the beauty is that I was earning in dollars. And guess what? As I accumulated it, I was then able to say, cool, where is that coaching program that I wanted to get involved in? I bought that coaching program. And I remember literally bunking work for almost a week, going through that coaching program and applying what I was learning. Because that's where the secret sauce comes in, is that you can know something, but if you don't apply the something, then it's just information. But when information literally becomes equity, it becomes something that you can tap into later, that can bring you or heal you some sort of return of investment. That's when Jim Rohn was loudest: transform your emotions and ideas into equity. And I'm like, boom! There is it right there, because I took action, right? And I got so excited, because even in the life coaching that I do, in the property coaching that I do, it's not some super freaky sort of coaching techniques that I need to do. It just really allows me during that time to be a lot more still and present, so that I can assist and serve people in my journey in the best way I know how. And that for me is important. So I do believe the thing that you are interested in, whether it's to lose weight, whether it is to get a new job, a new side hustle, starting property investing, whatever it is, I truly believe that you need to sit down and reconcile with yourself. What am I going to leverage in me so that I can get started? Everything connects to everything. And it's not that you're going to do something in isolation, because it starts affecting your life. And it starts affecting your life in a positive way, because it takes you down a different path than the path that you have been treading on year in and year out. Each step will inspire you to take the next step. And as you keep moving, you keep going forward. And if you keep moving, you keep going forward. I asked myself one day, when I was drowning in my debt, how can I get my self respect back? How can I change the cause of the road or the path that I'm going down? And all I needed to do was take action. I needed to search and find, leverage, and turn my emotions and ideas into equity. So you may be at that junction of your life as well on, how could I get my self-respect back? Maybe you just need to take some time, reconcile with yourself, and ask, what is practical in my life today for me to be aligned to where I'm going to? Because if everything is really connected to everything, and I take one step, it's going to open a new path. To the next step that I need to take, it's going to open a new path. And eventually, when you look back in the next 3 to 4 months, you will barely recognize the road that you've gone down, because it looks so different from the same crazy road you may have just been spinning around like a hamster to what you know. So I wonder, is taking action important to you? My life hack today is simply going back to Jim Rohn. Transform your emotions and ideas into equity by acting upon them right away. When they're hot, jump on it. Do not sit and simmer and wait for time to go by, because the longer you take, to take action, the further away that idea goes from you.